Good morning all, and welcome to the hamlet of Pegsdon. It's a hamlet, not a village, which will upset the locals. Doesn't have a church, so it's known as a hamlet. Pegsdon sits on the Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire border. Well known to orchid types, or will be known to orchid types, for the home of the only burnt tip orchid site anywhere near here. We've got to go a long way south or a long way north to find burnt tip orchids. If you don't find them here. So we're at Pegsdon this morning to check out the burnt tip orchids, which I am fairly confident will be here, and then after that we're going to dive across the road to another site where I have visited before in a search for fly orchids and not found them, but I'm assured it is still a good site for fly orchids, so this time I've got to find them. So it's burnt tip orchids, fly orchids, and I guess the bonus today, white Helleborine, if I can find them. So we're heading off first of all to Knocking Hoe to find the burnt tip orchids. Knocking Hoe. Hoe is an old English word for hill. It's all sort of prehistoric around here. Very prehistoric landscape. I can't tell you too much about it, but it's an old part of the world. And Knocking Hoe is a mound or hill on which we hope to find burnt tip orchids. Let's go and have a look. As we swing our way round towards the long and winding road to Knocking Hoe, I need to mention that I think not the last time but the time before that I came here, I got a bit of stick from the warden here saying please don't show directions to the burnt tip orchids on your video, which seemed a bit weird because it's all signposted anyway, so I wasn't really revealing anything that wasn't in the public domain, as it were, but peace and love and all that, so I deleted all the walk around to the site, which isn't very exciting, and I'll be doing the same today. Well, I won't be deleting it, I just won't be filming it. So sometimes shortly we will jump from this lovely bit of countryside and we will land on top, hopefully, of the burnt tip orchids. And you might think, well, how did we get here? Well, I just can't cover the route. Anyone that comes here knows where they are, but I'm not going to upset anybody for once, so yeah, we will be jumping straight to the burnt tip orchids. The infamous steps that we have to climb to get on the route to Knocking Hoe. They always seem steeper the older you get. You always get tremendous views up here on top of Knocking Hoe. The downside is always we're pretty exposed and the wind blows, so when we find the orchids, hopefully they're not swinging around too much, but always spectacular views up here. There you have it, a Knocking Hoe wonderful burnt tip orchid. This is actually one of the bigger ones that tends to lurk here. They tend to be smaller than this, and when you see photographs or indeed videos you probably think, oh, that's quite a big orchid, but it's not. If I put my front door key next to it, just dig it out of my pocket, there you go, that's my front door key, just to give you an idea of size. They're not very big. Still on his way out, that one. That one's a nicely marked one. Best of the bunch so far. Lovely little tiddler. And probably typical of the size of the burnt tip orchids here. I'll put my key next to it again. Get some idea of the size. Very small, very beautiful orchids though. A very rich, fruity red top to that one. Very vibrant. Right, that's the last one. There's plenty more, but they're all the same, so we'll finish with this one. A nicely coloured Knocking Hoe burnt tip orchid. Right, going to escape from the windswept peak of Knocking Hoe. Fantastic to see those burnt tip orchids again. It's been a few years since I've been here. I would say there's more here now than there was the last time I came. That might be a timing thing, I don't know. It must have been about 40 or more. Tiny little diminutive things, so if you do come here you should find them okay, and just tread very carefully because they are very, very small indeed, but wonderful to see again. Beautiful and very, very rare orchids. You won't find these, oh geez, within 50, even 100 miles of this site, so a real choice rarity. So we're going to head off now, head towards Hoe Hoo Bit. Might stop on the way. There's a woodland area on the way back that we walked past that when I came up here. It looked like it had promise. It looked like a beech wood, so I might nip in there, see if there's anything by way of white helleborine. You never know. Just looking across the fields on the way back down, that is Knocking Hoe, in case you come here and you're bamboozled by the signpost, which you won't be. That's where you're heading. That is Knocking Hoe. Get up in my drone. Yeah, that mound is Knocking Hoe. These fields are always incredible. I remember when I first saw them, I thought, geez, what's going on here? It looks like pure chalk, and undoubtedly there's a lot of chalk in there, but it can't be pure chalk because there's crops growing in it. I mean, I'm an ignoramus when it comes to farming, but yeah, very, very chalky. Very, very bright white soil. Crazy stuff. Anyway, we're coming back down now. This was the woodland I walked past on the way up, and it just looked like somewhere. I'll just give it a few minutes roaming around. I did try once before and found nothing, but that was a slightly different time of year. And from what I could see when I walked past it, at least to a degree, it's a beech wood. It always tends to be pretty good for finding orchids. I don't know as we'll find any bird's nest orchids, but white helleborine was the target for the day, and this will probably be the first attempt to spot a white helleborine. You never know. No joy. It's a pretty dense, you can't scramble through, it's not worth getting ripped to pieces. I think we'll have to save that one. Search for white helleborine to Hoe Hoo Bit. I did actually find a couple of white helleborine there, a few years ago. My first ever white Helleborine I found at Hoe Hoo Bit, so I'm reasonably confident we'll find them when we get there. Shouldn't say that, but yeah, reasonably confident. Let's crack on. You're impressed with that falling over with style there. Right, we are climbing up to Hoe Hoo Bit, a small woodland area which should be at the top of this path. The last time I came to find Hoe Hoo Bit, I didn't really have a clue where it was. I actually, I don't know if you could see this on the video, right at the top of that hill in the distance was where I ended up last time, until I met a dog walker who said, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Orchids." He said, "Do you want to go to Hoe Hoo Bit?" I said, "I am at Hoe Hoo Bit." He said, "No." He said, "No." He said, "Hoe Hoo Bit's over here in the distance." So I thought, great. But boy, was it a long trek, because it's very undulating. Down and up, down and up, down and up. By the time I got to Hoe Hoo Bit on a hot day, I was exhausted and the camera was exhausted. I managed to grab two early opening white Helleborine, and that was it. No fly orchids at all. So this is the first time I've come back. This time I am on the path, the correct path for Hoe Hoo Bit, and this time I'm determined to find fly orchids, for which Hoe Hoo Bit's always been quite famous for. So fingers crossed. That road and the building sort of right of centre was where we've just come from. That's where we were parking for Knocking Hoe, which is somewhere behind the trees on the left there. Knocking Hoe's in Bedfordshire. But Hoe Hoo Bit and where we are now, so if that makes you dizzy, where we are now is Hertfordshire. We've just crossed the border. So just to give it due credit, if we find something, we are in Hertfordshire. Just flashing back to Knocking Hoe, I didn't mention, yeah, I kind of hid the video directions to the site, which you won't have a problem with. As I say, if you follow the signposts, you'll end up on Knocking Hoe and you'll find the orchids fairly easily. If you're completely bamboozled as ever, just drop me a line. I don't mind telling you privately where it is, how to get there and whatever, if you're struggling in any way, shape or form. So I'm not cutting you all out here. I will help, but for this one, because of the rarity of the orchids, I don't want to put it out there on the video itself. So do give me a shout if you want any help. Got to be the cutest lamb on the planet. Yeah, you. Black sheep of the family. Is that enough? It's going to crash out on mum. Anything to avoid the camera. By my reckoning, that is Hoe Hoo Bit, or the edge of Hoe Hoo Bit. So we should be nearly there. Now, my old 1980s orchid book, I mean, what, 46 years old, I think it was, 45 years old, something like that. It said, don't go into the middle of Hoe Hoo Bit, which we will be doing, because that's where I found the Helleborines last time, but have a look on the front edge, which is sort of that, because that's where he, the author, found his fly orchid. So we'll have a quick wander up there and see if his advice is useful or not. You are here, Hoe Hoo Bit. Well, at least we've got to the right location this time, a bit quicker than we did last time. Yeah, that wasn't very successful. Hey ho and all that. Nothing looking like a fly orchid in here, which means they're probably there and I've missed them all. So we will head into Hoe Hoo Bit. So I keep stopping because you see little black things, and when you're 6 foot something tall and looking down on a fly orchid, you're looking for something that's probably 3 or 4 millimeters in circumference when you're looking from above, and it's black, even though it's not, but it looks black. And there's a lot of other things on the ground this time of year that is also black, so there's a lot of false alarms, but pretty sure we haven't missed anything. I do vaguely remember this path. It was along this path I bumped into, I think I sat down for a drink because I was exhausted, and sitting right next to me was this thing that I'd never seen the likes of before, which turned out to be a white helleborine. Now I soon worked it out. So I'm hoping if I'm going to find white helleborine, they'll be nice and easy and sitting on the side of this path, preferably in numbers. Yep. I see some white helleborines. I knew we'd find some. Never the most spectacular of orchids. Often the flowers don't even open. But there is a white helleborine at my feet. That's about as exciting as white helleborines come. At least you can see a little bit inside the flower. That's your typical white helleborine with the they look like they're in bud, but as I say, very often the flowers don't open, and even those that do open only barely open. You see a bit of yellow inside and that's it. Not the most exciting of orchids, but it is an orchid. You probably can't see on here, but there are actually several white helleborine in the woods here. I might pop in and see if there's any slightly more attractive ones, but I doubt we'll be too successful on that front. Much to my surprise, I've actually found one that's quite open, as far open as I think I've ever seen with a white helleborine. It's tatty, it's going over, but it is open. Must be 50 or 60 in these woods, plenty of them. They all look the same, unless you're lucky enough to find one that is open. A couple of big white helleborines at my feet. I don't know if you can see in the distance. Doesn't always pick it up that well on a camera. That's a bit better in focus. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I can see 38 white helleborine in that patch in front of me. And if I was to swing white, if I was to swing across there's another 20 easily, so there's a lot of white helleborine. We're well over 100 in this little tiny part of the wood. If you watched the bonsai bank video I did recently down in Kent, you'll have seen that embarrassing moment when I sat down to shoot a lady orchid, and just in the corner of the screen popped in a fly orchid, and a good fly orchid as well, and I missed it. Even though I was sitting alongside it, I missed it, and it's haunted me ever since that I could be so stupid as to miss something that was alongside me like that. And I'm determined I'm not going to do it again. I keep looking around me thinking I can't do this again. Someone's going to see a fly orchid and think you missed that one as well. Well, down there is a fly orchid. If I zoom in a wee bit, you see it? It's not very good zoom on this camera. There's a fly orchid right in the middle of the screen. I'll go and have a look at it. You may recall in various videos going back over the years that I've always said if you see a fly orchid, get down, stay down, look around, because if you see one you're going to see more. And I've just proved it with these two, but just sitting here now I can see more. I can see more around me, so you just don't see them when you're standing up looking down. Let's go and have a look at that other one. There's another one. That's another open flower on a white helleborine. There aren't many of these. Credit where credit's due. Certainly the biggest white helleborine I've ever seen, this one. It's a monster. An absolute monster. "23 inches tall is that. That's a big white helleborine. This one can have the badge for the last of the orchids for this session. A lovely Hoe Hoo Bit Fly Orchid. Very nice. Right, before we close this one up, as you're coming up the path to Hoe Hoo Bit, which is right in front of us, my old book did say check the tree line, basically, which is that for fly orchids, or for orchids in general. And I couldn't find anything, but actually he wasn't far off, because you've got to get the other side of the tree line. So if you go in the main front entrance, which is at the end of this path, go straight on about 50 yards, you'll start to see white helleborine at the side of the path on the left, but you'll see the wood open up, and that's where you're going. Go in the wood there, tread carefully. I would say 300 to 400 white helleborine in that wood. A lot of them still quite young, so you've probably got at least 10 days to see them if you want to come up here. But yeah, easy 300 to 400 white helleborine in there. And I saw about a dozen fly orchids. If you want the fly orchids, you've got to go right to the back of the wood. So if you're going in from this side, keep going until you reach the wire fence, I think it is, the fence into the field at the back of the wood as we're looking at it. The fly orchids tend to be at that back end, and they're tough to see. As I say, if you do see one, stay low, look around, you'll see more. I couldn't find any more fly orchids elsewhere in this wood. They may be there, but I found all mine, as I say, at the back near the fence into the field, and great to see they were. It's a cracking part of the world, this, really. Never seems to be anyone here, but it's a lovely part of the countryside with fantastic views and some lovely walks as well, even if a lot of it seems to be uphill and never comes down again. But no, you can roam across a lot of the area here. Those hills in the distance, you can roam. It's all sort of public access, and yeah, fantastic. And it's the Chilterns, it's the Chiltern Hills on the sort of Bedford, Hertfordshire border. Well, we're still in Hertfordshire at the moment, so I should give that the credit. And yeah, and if you like your orchids, there's plenty to come here searching for if you know where to look. But yeah, really good, really pleased. What's coming up next? Well, we are about to stray into the eagerly awaited summer orchid season. We've done the spring orchid season, the sort of green wings and the early purples, nearly forgotten them then. And then you have that gap, which I hate, which I'm just finishing now, a gap of like two and a half weeks before anything else happens. And then you get the summer season, the dactylorhiza season, common spotted, heath spotted, southern marsh, early marsh, the rest, you know. That opens up the world for me, and then he's diving around to sites, not just in my local area, but all over the country, and I'm really looking forward to that. So June is going to be mad, and we're only about a week away from June now, so I'm really looking forward to it. Hope the weather holds, and yeah, should have some fun in the weeks ahead. So thank you very much for joining me once again, and I hope to see you all sometime. Well, it won't be sometime, it will be next Friday at 6 o'clock. What I meant to say is somewhere, because I'm not quite sure where yet, but same time, same place as it were, 6 o'clock next Friday. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again in a week's time.